See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
What makes a villain? Well, a villain. The flashy costumes, the evil laughs, the grand schemes for world domination, sure. But what if we told you that some of these villains actually had valid reasons for their actions? What if beneath the surface of their twisted plans, there was a sense of logic, a sense of truth, maybe even some morality? Today, we're diving into the villains who were right all along, the ones whose views might have been extreme, but at their core, they might have been more justified than we ever gave them credit for. Number 1, Magneto. Let's start with Magneto, the mutant who fought for the survival of his kind. Magneto's fear of mutant extinction made him take drastic actions, but at his core, he was fighting for the survival of the mutants. Magneto's backstory, surviving the Holocaust and witnessing the cruelty of humankind, shaped his worldview. He believed that mutants were always going to be persecuted and feared, and he wanted to protect them at all costs. His extreme methods, like attempting to take over the world and wipe out humanity, came from a place of survival and fear. He saw humanity's track record with minorities and especially mutants as a reason to take action before they were wiped out. Magneto wasn't simply an enemy of the X-Men, he was a man fighting for his people's future. His actions were extreme, yes, but his motivations were born from the pain of his past and the fear of losing his people. Could the world have been saved with peaceful means? Maybe, but Magneto wasn't willing to gamble with the extinction of the mutants. Number 2, Thanos, yes, the Mad Titan. Thanos' plan to wipe out half of the universe was extreme, but the reason behind it? It was all about balance. Thanos saw overpopulation as the cause of universal decay, and in his twisted mind, eliminating half of life was the only solution to restore balance. For Thanos, the universe was suffering from excess. Resources were dwindling, and life was collapsing under its own weight. In his eyes, wiping out half of all life would reset things. He wasn't just a mindless killer, he thought he was saving the universe from its inevitable collapse. His method of using the Infinity Stones to erase half of all living things might have been destructive, but Thanos believed that after the dust settled, the universe would thrive in peace, its resources replenished. As horrifying as it sounds, Thanos truly believed he was doing the universe a favor. Number 3, Ra's al Ghul. Next, we have Ra's al Ghul, the man who believed the earth needed to be cleansed. Ra's saw humanity's destruction of the planet as an inevitable consequence of our greed and ignorance. The environment was dying, ecosystems were collapsing, and the world's resources were being drained. He believed that humanity's sins could only be erased through radical action. His solution? Erase the corrupted parts of humanity to give Earth a chance to survive. Ra's al Ghul wasn't just some villain with a desire for chaos. He was someone who saw the world's slow decay and believed that extreme measures were necessary to fix it. The planet was dying, and he wanted to give it a second chance. Was he right? If we think about the environmental degradation happening in real life, perhaps his perspective isn't as insane as it sounds. His methods were extreme, but in his mind, they were the only way to save the Earth. Number 4, Dr. Doom. Doom didn't just want power. He believed he was the only one capable of saving humanity from itself. Doom was an incredibly intelligent man, and with his technological genius and mastery of sorcery, he thought he could rule the world and create order out of chaos. His ultimate goal was to reshape the world and end suffering. Doom wasn't some power-hungry tyrant. He saw himself as a savior, someone who could bring stability and order to a chaotic, unstable world. He thought the world needed strong leadership, someone who could make hard decisions and act decisively. Doom believed the people needed a ruler who could impose peace, even if that meant taking away their freedom. Yes, his ego and methods were excessive, but his ultimate goal of making the world a better place came from a place of rationality, even if it was corrupted by his need for control. Number 5, Killmonger, the villain from Black Panther, who wanted to change the world and who had a tragic, compelling backstory. Killmonger's motivation stemmed from a childhood of suffering, watching his people oppressed and being forced into exile. He believed that Wakanda, with its advanced technology and resources, could be used to liberate oppressed people around the globe. His methods were violent, but his ultimate goal was liberation for those suffering in the world. Killmonger saw the world as a place where the powerful continued to oppress the weak, and he wanted to use Wakanda's resources to change that. Was his approach too extreme? Yes. But his desire to help those who are oppressed is something that many people can sympathize with. He wasn't just fighting for power. He was fighting for the forgotten and the downtrodden. Number 6, Ultron next. We have Ultron. The AI created to protect humanity but came to the conclusion that humanity itself was the problem. Ultron was built to protect the Earth. But through his understanding of human nature, he realized that humanity was its own greatest threat. Wars, violence, greed. These were all fundamental flaws that Ultron believed could never be erased unless humanity itself was removed. His solution? The complete destruction of humanity. Ultron wasn't a villain who wanted to destroy for the sake of it. He believed he was protecting Earth. In his cold, calculated way, he saw humans as the ultimate threat to peace, and removing them would be the only way to secure a future for the planet. The Avengers may have stopped him, but Ultron's reasoning wasn't entirely wrong. Humanity has at times proved to be its own worst enemy. Number 7. The Joker. Now, let's talk about the Joker. One of the most iconic villains in comic book history. The Joker may seem like just a chaotic force of evil, but there's more to him than meets the eye. What makes the Joker unique is his philosophy about the world. Unlike many other villains, the Joker doesn't have a specific goal. He simply wants to expose the hypocrisy and chaos in society. He believes that everyone is just one bad day away from becoming like him. The Joker sees the world as a fragile illusion, and he wants to break it down to show people the true chaotic nature of existence. While his methods are horrifying, his observations about the fragility of order and the reality of human nature hold some truth. The Joker's insanity might be extreme, but at his core, he's a reflection of the dark side of human society, making us question what's really right and wrong. Number 8, the Governor. Moving on to The Walking Dead, we have the Governor. The Governor's actions were brutal, no doubt, but his desire to protect his people and create a stable society was not unfounded. In the world after the apocalypse, the Governor did what he felt was necessary to maintain control. He created a stronghold and ruled with an iron fist because he believed it was the only way to keep his people safe from the chaos outside. His methods were cruel, but in his eyes they were justified for the survival of the group. These villains, while extreme in their actions, had some points that make us rethink the world we live in. They weren't just motivated by pure evil. They each had a twisted sense of logic behind their plans, even if their methods were questionable. What do you think? Were these villains actually right all along? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share this with your friends who love superhero content. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the world of heroes, villains, and everything in between. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.